still have the crop. That's about it. We are back with Final Fantasy XIV. Perhaps my longest played Final Fantasy game ever. Mostly because it's an MMO and there's so much to do. Anyway, I believe last time we established we need to leave the Waking Sands. We had gotten things taken care of with the Adventurers Guild in Mordona, and the Rising Stones is ours. And I think after that we ended up getting a call from Tataru to deal with Good King Mogomog the 12th. May he forever reign in memory. And Minfilia and the Waking Sands got an unexpected visitor, an Ascian, dressed in white, named Elidibus. Anyway, let us continue from where we left off. Let us set aside the matter of this Ascian until after we have completed our move to the Rising Stones. There is but one final favor I would ask of you before I depart. I believe I mentioned before that my father was a member of the Alamegan Resistance. The truth, however, is more complicated than that. As far as the Empire knew, he was their spy. He maintained the deception for nigh on half a decade, furnishing the Resistance with vital Imperial secrets, while feeding his paymasters suddenly concealed misinformation. When he died some 15 years ago, my father left behind his journal, which I have closely guarded ever since. It contains every shred of information he and his agents could steal on what they believed to be the single greatest threat to Eorzea, the Primals. Its wisdom has guided me through the years, though there is much within I still do not understand. It is my hope that Urianger will fare better. Tell him to treat it with care. It is all I have left of my father. Of course, screams will ring out of the solar. I thought they departed. To what end dost thou return? The father's final request, the daughter's lifelong labor. It is no small thing to surrender such a cherished mentor. Well can I imagine the descendant's pain. Upon mine honor, I swear to spare no effort in the study of these materials, lest my lady's sacrifice be in vain. Really, you're calling me from the solar? Vakama? This is Minfilia. Forgive me, but I could wait no longer. Oh, okay. I have departed for the Rising Stones. If you have yet to... Once you have given the journal to Urianger, I bid you come to the Seventh Heaven in Revenant's Toll. Tataru will be there to show you inside our new headquarters. Assuming you've already attuned to it, you may wish to make use of our new Aetherite in Revenant's Toll. After all, it is right on our doorstep. Well done. As you wish. So, story-wise, I have access to a lot more areas that I should not at this point, but the only way that I could have possibly ended up doing this properly would be to start a new character and play it from the beginning to where I left off in the series so far. And that honestly takes up a lot more time than you think. Even with I'm going right past it. Yep, there she is. Oh, Vakama, you're here. Good, good. We were all wondering when you'd show up. As I was just telling your resident receptionist here, I am pleased to inform you that all the documents have been prepared and all signatures signed. The Rising Stones is officially yours. Splendid! From this day forward, I will spare no effort in seeing that it is as welcoming and comfortable a home for us as the Waking Sands ever was. That said, this is also somewhat intimidating, is it not? So many unfamiliar places and unfamiliar faces. Most of the men and women you see around you here in Revenant's Toll are adventurers who come and go as they wish. I dare say that should make it easier for you to go about your business here. And it shouldn't hurt that Vakama here has already made something of a name for himself here. Isn't that so, Vakama? I should probably take my head in this one. The expressions the character makes in the story are just as important as what the characters say. Even though I typically say please except for mine. Why, that's wonderful to hear! Rest assured that this receptionist will work just as hard to see that our efforts do not skip a beat despite the relocation. And with that, Vakama, I do believe it's time you officially announced your presence to everyone inside. The antecedents and the others will surely be overjoyed to see you. It's always fun. Well, it is certainly spacious. Marks a new beginning for the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. For today we declare our independence. We shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, we shall henceforth be beholden to no nation, but serve all of Eorzea's people proudly and openly. But this does not mean that we will sever our ties with the Eorzean alliance. On the contrary, the antecedent and I shall endeavor to strengthen them. Rest assured, however, that we shall not permit political considerations to influence our decisions. Our identity remains unchanged, as does our cause. We are the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, and our single purpose is to safeguard the future of Eorzea. For Eorzea! which bringeth me will admit no delay. Mine every attempt to contact the students of Aldesian hath been met with silence. No one will respond? How odd. Allow me to try. No response. Surely they will not ignore us. He has never yet, my lady. I fear we must assume the worst. No, I won't believe it. An outpost, perhaps, but not their headquarters. Their walls are beyond circumvention. Had they come under attack, they most certainly... Had they come under attack, they would most certainly have raised the alarm. No one could penetrate their sanctum unnoticed. But for those who lack the gift and the knowledge both... Oh no. Contact our agents in the field at once. If aught has befallen the students of Baldethian, they may know of it. Though the thought of it pains me, until such time as we have evidence to the contrary, we can but assume the worst. Accordingly, we must needs seek another source of information on Elidibus. It is possible that others in the homeland are possessed of such knowledge. Be fairly warned, however, they are unlike to yield it unconditionally. Do what you must. Yet another unforeseen and unwelcome development. What could be next, I wonder? A visit from a crimson-clad Ascian? Or perhaps Ochre or Puce? And which of our allies will then fall silent? For a time I thought we had gained the upper hand. When you shouted the Crystal of Darkness and cast out La Habrea, I dared to hope that we had found a way to rid ourselves of the Ascian menace. But I was wrong. He endures, and may yet return. Upon that point, I have no doubt that Elidibus spoke true. Yet there must be a way to destroy them utterly. A way to spare this world their unholy machinations. I dare not consider the alternative. There are forces at work we do not understand, Vakama. I discern them all around, in disturbances too great and too numerous to be dismissed as mere coincidence. Doubtless the Paragons are involved. But how and to what end is far from clear. I know not what will come, but I do know that we will rise and meet it as one. Ah, my stalwart hero. Your face is a picture of resolve. I know that you will be ready when the time comes. With luck, however, that will not be for a while yet. Pray return to your private affairs with my blessing. Should anything arise, you'll be informed. Intercession was not foretold. no rest for the weary. Scarce had I begun to make myself at home when I received a request for assistance from Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It would appear their storehouse in Horizon has been the target of a series of covert robberies. Minor as they seem in isolation, occasional discrepancies and manifests were long dismissed as clerical errors. It was only during the concern's annual audit that a pattern became apparent. Significant quantities of crystals, and only crystals, were missing. I need hardly tell you what that may imply. The Brass Blades charged with investigating the thefts believe that someone within the concern is selling the crystals for a profit. Alas, they have as yet been unable to identify a likely suspect, and the concern's proprietors have grown frustrated by their lack of progress. Needless to say, I would not have agreed to intervene had the stolen goods been of merely monetary value. But there is even a possibility that the thief acts not out of self-interest, but in service to a primal. We can ill afford to wait for the Blades to realize their mistake. Pray depart for Horizon at your earliest convenience. Rendezvous with the Ishtola when you arrive. She and Thancred have already begun a preliminary investigation. I have every confidence that the three of you will get to the bottom of these thefts. I only hope our fears prove unfounded when you do. Horizon. Hello, Y'shtola. Ah, Vakama. Your assistance would be most welcome. I've already spoken at length with the Brass Blades of the Rose, albeit to little avail. It would seem that the thieves took great pains to conceal their activities. I could go into further detail, but your time might be better spent in conversation with Fufalupa. He is the officer charged with leading the investigations, and I would only be repeating that which he related to me. If aught eluded my attention, mayhap it will not elude yours. Oh wait, I helped him back at the very beginning of the quest of my adventure. Booty. That's awesome. Vakama, what a pleasure to see you again. Y'shtola said to expect you. Terrible business, these thefts. We have yet to confirm the quantity of crystals stolen, but I dare say it may be greater than... But never mind that. I have news to share. A short while ago, the driver of a heavily laden carriage refused to halt for inspection and broke through one of our checkpoints on the Royal Allagan's Sunway. The cart bolted off toward Eastern Thanalan, where, thank the gods, I hear that our colleagues were able to apprehend them without further incident. A speeding carriage. That would seem a curious choice for thieves of such proven cunning. Yet the Amalja do have a foothold in Eastern Thanalan. And what of the cargo? Did they carry the crystals we seek? We should be receiving a report at any moment now, but I fail to see what else it could... Did you miss me, friends? I'm back, but I fear I come bearing disappointing news. Or, on second thought, perhaps it's good news after all. Thancred, where have you been off to? I figured you had everything under control here, so I just took a brief excursion to the east to check up on our Amalja friends. And wouldn't you believe it? I happened upon a runaway carriage on the way, and even was able to do my small part to help my friends in the Brass Blades intercept it. In all my years, I have never seen such a prodigious quantity of somnus. The Blades were calling it one of the greatest hauls they've ever seen. The stolen crystals, on the other hand, were nowhere to be found. Is that so? Alas, I suppose we have no choice but to resume our search elsewhere. Against all expectations, it would seem the Amalja are innocent of this particular spate of crimes. By all indications, they have yet to replenish the stores of crystals exhausted during their last attempt to summon a fleet. What I can't fathom is why anyone else would go to such lengths to obtain crystals, and in such quantities. It cannot be that we are dealing with simple thieves. Their motives were profit. Why would they limit their trade to crystals alone? Plainly, we are missing something. While you think about what it might be, I shall inform Marianji of our progress, or lack thereof. I'll deal with it, PlayStation.
Now then. 'Tis I. The situation may be more complicated than we anticipated.
Indeed, I shall remain watchful. Ere thou goest, another matter. Very well. Be she damsel or devil, I shall direct her steps to Revenant's Toll. Save thine insinuations for one given to such impropriety. Thou shalt not find me amenable.
Far across the sea from the land.
Okay. Any bright ideas? A solitary flash of insight? No? Well then, for want of a better suggestion, I say we try picking Fuflupa's brain again. Who knows? If we work together, we might yet find something of use nestled away within it. My God, why do I stutter so much with these freaking text boxes? Oh, but it is good to see you return. I have given some thought to the matter, and I have just hit upon a most disturbing possibility. How could I have been so blind? Calm yourself, Fufulupa. What is this disturbing possibility of which you speak? I was contemplating as to how the thieves' activities escaped our notice for so long, and then it came to me. What if there is someone among our own ranks conspiring with them? A traitor in our own midst? It would be most unfortunate if your fears proved well-founded, Fufulupa. Indeed, if, for reasons of security, the concern decided to transfer the remaining crystals stored in Horizon to another location, their plans would be discovered the moment the Brass Blades were informed. Ah, but such a shipment would surely be well guarded. Would thieves as wily as ours risk open confrontation? Mayhap not. But neither would the concern be eager to present them with such an obvious target. Nay, they might instead elect to carry out the transfer in secret, to entrust the goods to, let us say, a lone Makote miner traveling without an escort so as not to attract undue attention. But who... Ah, I see! Yes, the concern may well elect to do that. But to travel with so much cargo would be a strenuous task indeed, and this miner would certainly need to rest upon the way. Mayhap north of the bridge to Himalaya? A fine spot for a rest. Would you not agree, Vakama? You lie in wait to the north, and I shall do the same from the south. Forgive me, my friends, but I have received new orders. I must inform my men at once. So I think for anything that is not dungeon or trial related, I can go as warrior, as I intended. Call me a cynic, but I would be surprised if these thieves lay down their arms and surrender. See that you come prepared to offer them some encouragement. So, with a simple push of a button, I am warrior. Hear me roar! Oh, don't have an emote for that. I think for the sake of reasons that are actually fairly obvious, just to make sure that I actually keep any enemy's attention, I'm standing watch. Well, hello. You have picked the fight with the wrong warrior, my friend. And there are others. Should have thought of that before you came out here. Frickin' little tax bubble. I will not die in this godforsaken wasteland! You should have thought of that before you ended up coming out here to fight me. Ooh, look at the Stola and Hermione here. She looks pretty. Stubborn to the last, as expected. You were unharmed? A gang of sea-wolf thieves, and a Danila, no less. I suppose it's the first time for everything. Sea-wolves? All of them? Aye, and all with the same taste in facial tattoos. Blue, in case you are wondering. Our thieves are a long way away from home. Thancred, if you'd be so good as to attend to the outstanding matters in Horizon, I have inquiries to make. To Horizon, then. Fufulupo will want to hear about your meeting with the thieves. Granted, I was 3 levels higher, but my gear, not really too bad. It's all level 50. And I was running into a rock. My adorable doggy sleeping on my bed. Ooh, good set of bargain. On behalf of the Brass Blades of the Rose, I thank you for your service to Horizon. Ah, but we have not been idle. While you were afield, we succeeded in identifying the traitor within our ranks. Is that so? And by your leave, I should very much like to have a word with the fellow in private. No. I am afraid that will not be possible. Regrettably, he, managed to subdue the unit of Blades dispatched to detain him and make good his escape. Oh, for the love of... And how did he manage that, exactly? You men haven't been sampling that somnus we confiscated, have they? Or was he a giant in disguise? No, but he was quite strong. A sea-wolf, Leminson born and raised, I believe. But do not worry, we will find him. You have my word on that. I see. Pray keep me apprised of any developments. Yes? He's standing next to me. Understood. I fear our time together is at an end, my friend. Your service is required elsewhere. Awfully disappointing, I know, but one must follow where duty leads. You might try to look a little disappointed. Or do you mean to give me another one of your stoic nods? You do, don't you? When he knows you a little too well. Mother of Exiles. The antecedent bid me tell you to make for Vesper Bay, where young Alphino awaits your coming most eagerly. It was he who requested your assistance. Some commotion or incident, I am not privy to the details. While you do whatever it is that Alphino has planned for you, I shall endeavor to track down our traitorous Brass Blade, and when I do, you may rest assured that we will have our answers. I don't doubt it, Thancred. I am told you are quite the man of persuasion. Now, to Vesper Bay. I could just walk, but honestly, flying is infinitely faster. Which you unlock after you end up clearing the base game, actually. You are late. No matter. I know where our visitors are headed. From what I've been able to gather, this vessel belongs to a band of Domans who seek an audience with the Sultana. You are familiar with Doma, yes? And authored? Well, like the rest of the nations of the eastern continent, it is ruled by the Gallian Empire. Given our visitors' unannounced arrival, as well as the state of their ship, I suspect they did not leave their homeland under the best circumstances. Needless to say, I should be very interested to hear their tale, and, more importantly, what they know of the current state of affairs in the Empire. Such information could prove most useful. We would be fools not to pursue this opportunity, do you not think? Come with me to Uldar, Vakama, unless I'm mistaken, and I'm rarely mistaken. We will find the Domans bickering with the Sultan Sworn on the Royal Promenade. You're uncertain of your role in the proceedings. Insurance. If our guests are not themselves Imperial agents, it seems fair to assume that they may be being pursued by some. And if not, who better than you to have on hand in the event of an unforeseen diplomatic incident? Besides, I do so enjoy your sparkling repartee. Satisfied? Good. I shall see you in Uldar. Well, ain't you the fancy talker? It's alright, Sheba. It's okay. You don't have to leave the bed. You don't have to get out the bed if you don't want to. It's okay. You can stay there. I promise it's okay. Oh, she just wants to give me kisses. Oh goody, I get to try this one-handed. So I think what I will do is, as I said before, every class has class quests that have their own story to them. So I think after I finish the A Realm Reborn story up to the final quest, then I will go back and do all of the class quests for the classes that you can unlock in A Realm Reborn. And then do some of the other story stuff, like the raids and the 24-mans. It matters not how many times you ask. Without the necessary permissions, none shall pass. Pray understand, good sir, we have not the leisure to lodge a formal petition. Time is of the essence. All I ask is that you summon your superior. Allow me to plead my case. Surely you can grant us that small kindness? Away with you, and darken these stores no longer. I will not ask again. You know not what you do. It's okay, Sheba. Sorry, that's my dog. I gather your pleas fell upon deaf ears. A loyal man with a cold heart. I know his kind well. I hope that you'll find me more to your liking. Alfino Lebayeur, at your service. A friend. Which, I believe, makes me very nearly unique. In these parts, in this part of the world, at least. Few indeed are your allies in Uldar. Yet you will need some if you wish to endear yourselves to the wealthy and powerful. Pray join me and my associate at the quicksand. There you may explain your situation to us, and we shall see if there is aught we can do to help. Okay. It's been a while since we've been to the quicksand, since we ended up first registering our name. Okay.
We have traveled some several thousand miles across the sea from the nation of Doma, in hopes that we might find sanctuary in these lands.
Sanctuary, Lady Yugiri?
Aye. Lying within Othard, Doma was under the dominion of the Garlean Empire, as I'm sure you are aware. When the War of Succession broke out in Garlemald, we espied an opportunity to free ourselves from the yoke of imperial oppression and took up arms. Only to be crushed. And so I gathered what few Domans escaped the reckoning and guided them hither to your shores.
A war of succession? Then the Emperor... Forgive me. You said that Doma was under Imperial rule, did you not?
Doma is gone. Razed to the ground as an example to the other provinces.
XII have mercy. And your people?
On a ship anchored in Vesper Bay, flying borrowed colors. Many were complicit in the rebellion, or akin to those who were. They will not come ashore until I send word that it is safe to do so. I sought an audience with your rulers, but was summarily refused.
The lords of Ul'dah are not wont to entertain foreign refugees without suitable encouragement.
Mayhap I was foolish to expect otherwise, but our supplies run low and we have young ones in urgent need of care. I have seen the tents outside the gates, however. We are not the first to seek asylum, nor will we be the last.
Be that as it may, Ul'dah is no friend to Garlemald. Your tale would stir the hearts of many men and women here. The Sultana and the Syndicate will not be so easily swayed, but I shall see that you are granted an opportunity to plead your case.
This is within your power?
Well, far be it from me to boast, but I do have the ear of certain influential individuals.
I am in your debt.
Lady Yugiri, forgive me for observing, but your choice of attire seems like to evoke feelings of mistrust.
Men are wont to fear the unfamiliar. We know this from experience. We seek only to spare the people of Ul'dah unnecessary disquiet.
I shall defer to your experience, then.
I thank you for your understanding.
It seems I have urgent business with the Flame General. I leave our guests in your capable hands.
I mean, if there was a war of succession going on within an empire that was currently occupying my territory, that would honestly be the best time to take up arms, though. I would definitely gauge how strong my foe is before doing anything rash. If I may, sir, as I said earlier, we have been at sea for several moons, and our supplies are all but spent. I have not the heart to repeat the tales of our tribulations, nor would it please you to listen to them. I think. Suffice it to say, however, sacrifices have been made. Though it shames me to beg for more when you have already offered so much, desperation compels me. Gentle sir, if you or your associates can spare any provisions, anything at all, it would go a long way to lessen the suffering of my people. Let me see if Momari can help. Hells! Why didn't you say so sooner, Vakama? Of course I'll help! You couldn't have picked a better day to tell the truth. A wealthy merchant and his entourage would do to have a banquet here on the morrow, see? But just at word they can't come. Meaning I've got a boatload of foodstuffs and no one to feed. Best of all, they paid for the lot in advance. Ha ha! Go and call on Feduri and Catherine at the Sapphire Avenue Exchange. Tell them I sent to ship the little prince's order to the Wakened Sands. Oh, and if they argue, just show them those letters. That should set them straight. Boy, are they gonna be in for a surprise. They won't be able to recruit me. I am from a different data center. Haha. I am safe from any and all free company advertisements. It It will not sway me. Besides, I already have an alt over here on Fairy. She's in the business of feeding refugees now? I ain't normally one to question Mistress Mamadi's judgment, but that doesn't seem wise to me. I'll not speak for the children, but if you ask me, any man what can't earn a crust deserves to go hungry. Yeah, fuck you and that. Pardon my French. Screw you and that opinion. My, that's a rather odd request. Mayhap you misheard her instructions? You know, you shouldn't encourage them like this. They'll start to expect it, you mark my words. Not these people. They're too respectful. Doma is what I would equate to... I actually don't know what the system of government was in Japan at ancient times, but I do know that these people would not allow themselves to accrue a debt and not pay it back. Meaning, they will not accept all this food for nothing. If there is something they can do to repay the kindness that we have shown, they will do it. Within reason, obviously. They didn't give you any trouble, did they? Good. Now go and tell Lady Yugiri all is at hand. All is in hand. I dare not hope for such magnanimity. That is a word I have not come across in a while, actually. But then again, when I did this, the first time. For my first time through, I was reading it to myself, so I didn't have to worry about reading it aloud. I dared not hope for such magnanimity, much less expect it. Mistress Maudie is generous indeed. I shall be sure to thank her most humbly. See? See? Lady Yugiri, I briefed the Flame General on your situation. I think you will be pleased with his reply. We have been granted an audience? Before the Sultana and the Syndicate both. We should return to the Royal Promenade at once. You've done so much for us, Alphino. You've done so much for us, Master Alphino. I swear we shall return the favor. See? Naught is owed, Lady Yugiri, for naught has been given. The small favor you fairly won with your words. And it is with your words that you must win the favor of the Syndicate. Then I shall choose them with care. You'll be accompanying us, yes? Good. Your presence may serve to remind the Syndicate of the true meaning of philanthropy, and that nothing so unpalpable will be required of them, assuming the Domans are willing to earn their keep. Come, the Flame General awaits us on the Royal Promenade. I got caught on the railing. Yeah. There we go. pleasure, Captain Flameborne. The others are already inside. Let's not keep them waiting.
I think this is worst.
I, Yugiri of Doma, am honored to meet you at last, Your Grace. To mark this auspicious occasion, I should like to present to you the finest treasures our humble nation has to offer. Alas, the circumstances which have brought me here today have divested me of both time and dignity. I come before you as a pauper in direst need of aid, to request that you grant my people asylum.
I, Nanamo, 17th in the line of Ul, welcome you to our city. Be at ease, Lady Yugiri. Although I myself have heard the tale of your misfortune, I would ask that you recount it once more for the benefit of the others here present.
As you wish, Your Grace. For many years, my nation, Doma, suffered under the yoke of imperial rule, and my people yearned to be free. Thus, when a war of succession broke out in Garlemald, we sought to take advantage of the chaos and reclaim our liberty. Alas, our enemy proved less preoccupied than we had hoped, and our rebellion was put down in the most brutal fashion.
Those who survived, how many do they number?
More than 200 souls huddle within the cramped confines of our own galleon's hold. Yet this figure accounts for but one of a number of ships which escaped the purge. It is my hope that you will allow us all to dwell within your walls. Should that prove unfeasible, however, I humbly ask that you accept as many of my people as your resources allow. Pray understand, we do not beg a boon, but propose instead an arrangement. We would serve as soldiers or tradesmen until our debt is repaid.
What are the Syndicate's opinions on this matter?
I, for one, think it's a marvelous idea. Lady Yugiri and her people strike me as an industrious lot, and there are parts of the city which have yet to be fully restored. If they are willing to work, I see no reason not to let them.
The head of the Mirage Trust is not known for his generosity. He sees profit in this.
Of course he does.
I agree. That said, these are foreign refugees. To admit them would require a formal resolution. Shall we call a vote?
The law is the law.
Lord Lolorito?
Tell me, are you blind or willfully ignorant? Even now, our streets are choked with the displaced victims of the Calamity and Alamigan refugees. They live hand to mouth, subsisting on aid provided by the immortal flames, the cost of which grows ever higher. The wealth of Ul'dah is not without limits, my friends. And need I remind you that these refugees are prone to violence and criminal activity? You have all read the reports, I think. Without homes or employment, it is only a matter of time before men grow desperate and take that which they imagine has been unjustly denied them. Yet, knowing this, you would have us swell their ranks. Mayhap you think the brass blades and the flames are not hard-pressed enough?
Some say the chairman of the East Aldenard Trading Company passes Gil thrice daily. This may explain how he came to be the wealthiest man in Ul'dah. Or it may simply be that he's ruthless beyond reckoning.
Surely the Sultanate can support the few hundred domins Lady Yugiri represents. That our resources have been taxed, I do not deny. But we are hardly in danger of collapse.
Reminded of a similar debate some years ago regarding a number of Alamigan refugees, if memory serves. What were your words that day? Yes. The law is the law, and so our visitors remained in Little Alamigo. Mayhap our wise and benevolent Sultana would be so good as to enlighten us as to which other of our laws should not be upheld.
Mind your tongue, Lolorito.
My lord, I share your concern for the welfare of our great nation, but we must endeavor to take a longer view. You know as well as I that people can be a resource still more precious than gil.
Precious or not, they were never yet so reliable. And unlike those who frequent your establishment, I have no desire to gamble with my future. Uldar's greatest asset is, and has ever been, her material wealth. We risk this at our peril. One need only look to Teleji Adeleji's example for evidence of the danger in allowing sentiment to dictate policy. How far the vaunted Mirage have fallen, both in repute and profitability, since he began employing refugees.
How I choose to conduct my affairs is not your concern, my lord.
A proposal has been tabled. Given its urgency, I move we forego further debate and call a vote. To accept the Doman refugees or not. Those in favor, I bid you remain. Those opposed, I bid you leave.
I know my controller battery is low, that's why I plugged it in.
Would that it were within my power to welcome you and your people, Lady Yugiri. As you have observed, however, my authority in such matters is regrettably limited. Without the consent of the Syndicate, I cannot act.
I understand, Your Grace. And I appreciate all that you have done on our behalf.
The nerve of the man! If that bastard had not forsaken the eastern trade route, Little Alamigo would now be thriving. Oh, that you should have traveled so far under such dire circumstances, only to be refused in this manner is utterly unconscionable. Pray, accept my sincerest apologies.
Now that the Empire no longer poses an immediate threat, they see little reason to maintain the pretense of unity. The Monitorists have grown especially defiant of late. Lord Lolorito most of all. But this is neither the time nor place for that discussion.
It's going to rain soon. Observed, Lolorito is not afraid to speak her mind, nor is he like to change it. Often I wondered how a man so skilled at weighing the worth of things should be so incapable of seeing the value in people. Bah! I will waste no more words on him. Not when the Domans are yet in need of aid. Everyone follow me to the Hall of Flames. Okay, General. Real quick, make sure... Yep, it's charging. I had to make sure that my controller was charging so I could keep this going. Oh, can't empty. Voiced or not?
Syndicate has spoken. I see no point in moving that the matter be reconsidered. The monitorists have made their position clear.
Agreed. Uldar is not an option. Nor are Limsa or Gridania, Judge, given the state of their internal affairs. Which leaves our Doman friends confined to a ship. The thought of them huddled in the air in airless hope, with no hope of better treatment. What if I had more time to find an alternative? A place not bound by the concerns of the great nations. Infilia? That is precisely what I wish to discuss. To preserve that which is ours, especially when we feel to have a solution. But I cannot legally accept this judgment. Not will my people suffer. Putting out of the question the suffering to accept us for a little time. A week, or even just a few days. Excellent! I shall keep you informed. Lady Ugiri, I have a proposal, if you would hear it.
Out with it, Master Alpha.
The headquarters of my order, the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, stand in a place called Revenant's Toe, an outpost in Mordona. Like most outposts, it is frequented by mercenaries and other men of action, and lacks the comforts of more well-established settlements. However, the leaders of Revenant's Toe have been doing their utmost to change that. To that end, they have need of able-bodied individuals willing to work as frontier hands. Hard labor, lest you doubt, with naught save food and shelter by way of reward.
Terms not unlike those which you yourself proposed, Lady Ugiri.
Though I will not hear a word said against our beloved Uldar, Revenant's Toe would offer certain advantages, the absence of unhelpful bureaucracy being the most obvious. If they can accommodate us all, we shall gladly accept. Master Alpha, once again I find myself in your debt. Pray, do not thank me, my lady. The life your people go to is one of hard labor and few comforts, as I told you. And before that, there remains the matter of how they may safely be borne to Revenant's Toe, which will be no small feat considering the distance and their present condition. Uldan Adventurers Guild can be of assistance. Look to me there anon, Vakama.
Lady Ugiri, if you and your people would accompany me, we may discuss what aid the Immortal Flames can provide.
Well, look at that! Nice, so many people over here. Alrighty, into the Adventurers Guild we go to speak with Alphino. Nope, couldn't see what that person was wearing. I literally had no idea what it was. It didn't look like anything I'd seen before. We are concerned that the Doman refugees may find the journey to Remnant's Toll too much to bear. Too long have they been sequestered aboard their ship with insufficient supplies and scarce room enough to breathe, let alone stretch their limbs. With that in mind, Mistress Momodi has kindly offered to accommodate the Domans until such time as they are ready to set out for Mordona. Those healthy enough to travel will embark as soon as transportation has been secured, while those too weak to leave at once will be permitted to stay until they regain their strength.
What news?
Transportation remains our greatest obstacle, General. Is there aught the Immortal Flames can do?
I fear that exceeds our mandate. Were it a smaller number, mayhap it would go unnoticed, but the Syndicate will not bear the cost of escorting more than 200 Domans for Mordona.
When government fails to act, the responsibility falls to us private citizens. I will engage the services of the 77 caravans on the Doman's behalf.
Very well. We should begin contract negotiations at once. Your generosity is most welcome, my lord.
After all that has befallen these good people, it is the least I can do. Come what may, you shall ever have a friend in Uldar, Lady Ugiri.
Yeah, and his name is Raban.
And you in Revenant's Toll, my lord.
You'll find out why I say that later.
Well, it sounds like we all have work to do. Lady Ugiri, let's put our heads together and settle the details of our arrangement, shall we? I would entrust the task of escorting our Doman friends to you. After you have rested your own road-weary leg. What say you? After everything that Vakama spent through, road-weary doesn't even begin to describe it. As we speak, the Domans prepare for departure at Vesper Bay, wherefrom they will be transported by carriage to Uldar. That said, this has all been decided rather suddenly, and it would not surprise me if the refugees required some assistance in coordinating their preparations. Vakama, I would have you return to Vesper Bay and facilitate the process through tasks great and small. In short, whatever must needs be done, do it. Speak of the man named Hozan when you arrive. As Lady Ugiri tells it, he has been designated the leader of the first group. Okay. Let me get a map out. Like that? Ooh. Anybody who played Final Fantasy X knows who this is. Yep, flying is faster. Greetings. Alphino informed me that a scion would be arriving to help with the preparations. I am honored to meet you, though shamed as well. A great warrior should not be tasked with such trivialities.
Aye, I knew from a glance what manner of man you were. I too have some skill at arms, as do many of our people. Pray forgive this trifle, but might I trouble you to round up the children that have been given into my care? They are most adept at staying hidden from my sight, but perhaps your keen eyes will succeed where I have failed. You have my thanks, friend. Pray seek out my son, your son. He can tell you more. Ah, boy, I'm gonna have to go real high-pitched in the voice for kids. Okay, that was weird. Wait, where? There you are. Oh, hello there. God, did I mean to skip that? What's that? You're looking for the others? Don't worry, I already told them to get ready for the carriages. I'll need your help though. We were just finishing a game of hide and seek. 3 players are still hiding, and since Lady Ugiri told us to take it really seriously, they won't move until they're found. But Vesper Bay isn't that big, so I bet you can find them in no time. Found you. Hey, you're not your son. Who are you? I'm Koharu. Vakama Flameborne, eh? I didn't know anyone else was... Wait a minute! You're one of those, stallions, aren't you? No. Scions. Scions! Then you must know Lady Ugiri, right? Isn't she great? She's really good at hide and seek, too. Oh, right. It's almost time to go. Nice to meet you, Vakama Flameborne. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. My voice is not gonna sound any different from one kid to the next. How'd you find me? Bah! How'd you find me? Bah! I guess I need more practice. Or maybe you're just good at this. I mean, the Garleans didn't find me. Are you playing? Ah, no fair! Your son didn't say anything about adults! Huh? We get to ride a horseboard carriage? I don't know. It sounds scary, but if your son says it's safe, I'll go. Yay! Found them all. Boing! Just casually run through people, no big deal. Wonderful. All the children are accounted. Hide and seek? Ah, I see that you are curious. It is quite simple, really. Lady Ugiri thought it best that the children know what to do in case the Garleans found us. I should hope that those days are behind us, but I nevertheless take comfort in knowing that we are prepared. Lively adventure. The first caravan is due to depart shortly, followed by the rest at regular intervals. My family and I, including my stubborn old father, Homei, will be traveling in the lead carriage together with young Koharu, whom I believe you've already met. Though I understand the road to Ul'dah is regularly patrolled by your brass blades, it would give us great comfort if you would agree to accompany us on our journey. Once again, I thank you for your kindness. When you are ready to leave, please inform our coachman. Okay. Well, they're clearly a new player, either that or just a new character. Eager to be off, are you? Aye, well, I was meaning to have a word with you about that. Runner from the blade says we might have a problem. A fierce-looking beastie's been sighted south of the bridge to Hamarlea. Might be if someone's eyes are playing tricks on him, of course. But it don't pay to gamble in this business. Now I know you can handle yourself in a fight, but this lot here's another story. So I was thinking you might go on ahead and have a quick look around. Make sure the area is safe, like. If you come across anything dangerous, you know what to do. When you're satisfied the way's clear, meet us outside Horizon. The blades tell me the road there is safe, so I reckon we can make it that far on our own, assuming the self-same bastards don't try to rob us, that is. Alright, you want me to scout ahead? You got it. Okay. Going into Horizon. Everything's looking good so far. Oh, hello. Gonna have a hard time with me. Told ya. Okay. So there was a PC. Was being the operative word. Well fought, sir. Well fought. Ah, if only I were in better health, I should have been proud to stand by your side. My son, pay my son no mind. He forgets that his responsibilities preclude acts of daring do. Be that as it may, I cannot help but envy you. Had we been able to call upon heroes of your strength and skill in Doma, things would have been very different. But we cannot change the past. Those who fought and fell are forever lost to us. Lost, but not forgotten. Lady Ugiri's kinsmen leashed them all. They fought fiercest, though they knew full well it was in vain. She had every right to walk away, yet she chose to stay. Food, shelter, the promise of a better life. All this and more we owe to her. How does one even begin to repay such a debt? In kind, Father. To she who has given everything, we shall give our all. Whatever work there is to be done, we shall do it without question. Ditch digging, bricklaying, it matters not. Revenant toll will grow and prosper by our hands. Well then! Hey, Mr. Vakama!
Koharu and I want to know why you became an adventurer.
To go whither the wild rose blooms.
So, you like roses? I think I understand. I mean, they're nice and everything, but don't they grow in lots of places? It's my turn now! Excuse me, Mr. Vakama, I've got a question. What's Reverend's Toll like? Is it pretty?
It is a bustling outpost frequented by countless adventurers.
You mean, there are lots of people who are just as strong as you? Oh, I can't wait! Enough, Koharu, it's my turn again. Mr. Vakama, when I'm older, I want to be strong like you. What do I have to do?
Seek out new experiences and adventures.
Of course! To be a better adventurer, you need to go adventuring!
Alright. That's enough questions for Mr. Vakama.
How does your son get to ask 2 questions? I want to know about adventuring just as much as he does! Just one more, please! Do you think I could be an adventurer like you one day?
Of course.
Really? Then I will! Thanks for the advice, Mr. Vakama. I won't forget it! I'm going to be an adventurer too! When we get to Revenant's Toll, let's make an adventurers guild for Domans! We'll protect our friends and punish the wicked, just like Mr. Vakama and Lady Ugiri! Yeah! Just like Mr. Vakama and Lady Ugiri!
We can talk more about it in the carriage on the way. Will you be joining us? Okay, now I need to talk to Open out the quicksand. Oh, this aura around me. I had to. Okay. Funnily enough, every time I'm here, I always end up getting this nostalgic feeling of when I was playing this game for the first time. I think it was back in 2014, 2015, somewhere in there. Sorry. I was helping a friend try and find a particular Pokemon they were looking for. We welcome your return, Master Flameborne. Ah, Vakama. I take it the first group has arrived? Excellent. Is there aught else? No, I have matters well in hand here. You and Lady Yugiri should travel to Revenant's Toll forthwith. It is past time Lady Yugiri met with the guild representatives in Revenant's Toll. Since I do not foresee any further matters arising here in Thanalan which might require your personal attention, I would instead have you serve as an escort to the Doman delegation for the duration of the journey. Speak first with Slafborn upon your arrival. He is the one with whom the Domans will be working most closely, I should think. Afterwards, introduce Lady Yugiri to Menphilia and the guild emissary. If both meetings go well, the resulting ties should stand the Domans in good stead for that which is to come. Safe travels, Vakama. Okay. And this must be the esteemed Lady Yugiri and her associates. I greet you all as friends, and bid you welcome to the Toll. I hope you do not find our dearth of fineries off-putting. Poor though we may seem, we have a wealth of spirit, and camaraderie to spare. You see, race and creed don't enter into it here. We welcome all sorts, provided they are willing to earn their keep, of course. We are no strangers to hard work, Master Slafborn. You may rest assured that we will carry out your orders with due diligence. Oh, not for a moment did I doubt your commitment, my lady. Pray understand, I give the same speech to all new arrivals, and you needn't bow your head or call me master either. We are both frontier hands as far as I'm concerned. As you wish, Slafborn. May this meeting mark the beginning of a long and fruitful relationship. Our guests have yet to meet the antecedents. 7 hells, Vakama, why are you wasting your time with me? See them to the Rising Stones. To whom much is given, much is expected. Forgive me. I require a moment to compose my thoughts before meeting with your leader. We shall join you in the Rising Stones anon. Okay, I'll meet you there. use. Our attempts to reach the students of Ardesi continue to meet with failure. Urianger has explored other avenues of inquiry, but they too have yielded naught. We will persevere, of course, yet within our hearts the truth is clear. We are but awaiting confirmation of that which we already know. How fare the Domans? I'm given to understand you are kept quite busy in Vesper Bay. Mayhap you question the wisdom of aiding refugees when the primal threat remains unresolved. I should not blame you if you did, nor would I deny that this matter falls outside our normal purview. Be that as it may, I could not ignore the plight of these refugees, not when it was within our power to help them. Lady Ugiri is here? Please show her in. I should very much like to meet her. We have no objections. Pray do so with our blessing. Your answer pleases me beyond words, my lady. But are you quite certain? We have no way of knowing how many might answer my summons. In the event that Revenant's toll could not accommodate us all, we would need to find an alternative solution. Should that come to pass, we will find it together. As ever, it has been a pleasure, antecedent. Alas, we must take our leave, as the first carriages are due to arrive at any moment. Should you require aught else, pray speak with Flameborne, Lady Ugiri, Vakama. I am so used to playing through this on other characters, just skipping everything. Lamine and I will make all the necessary preparations to ensure our Doman friends feel at home upon their arrival. Though I must admit, I am still troubled about the matter of the missing crystals. Ysteola should be returning anon with a report from a field. Mayhap you could wait here and speak with her upon her arrival?
How goes the fishing? Caught anything slippery?
Aye. Our suspicions were well founded. The Serpent Reavers are indeed the culprits.
The plot thickens.
Has there been any movement in Thanalan?
It has been blessedly quiet, which is to say the Amalja are being no more or less of a nuisance than usual, summoning Ifrit with such crystals as they have hoarded. Urianger, too, reports not out of the ordinary.
Then we have our explanation.
Your explanation for what, pray tell?
For the recent spate of crystal thefts in Thanalan, we naturally assumed that the trail would lead us back to the Amalja. Yet it did not. It led us across the sea unto Vilbrand.
Vilbrand? There have been reports of increased Sahagin activity of late. Oh gods, they mean to summon Leviathan?
That is the way of it, I fear. Whilst conducting our investigation on behalf of the mineral concern, we came upon evidence implicating the Serpent Reavers. With the aid of the Maelstrom, I was able to verify our suspicions. 'Tis only a matter of time before Leviathan returns to harrow the seas. But there is more. one of the Sahagin, an elder by my judgment, spoke of attaining the gift and knowledge of eternity.
Ugh.
Uh-oh. Here comes the echo. And quite possibly... voice acting from me. Maybe. I don't know.
Such a disturbance in the ether. If I did not know better, I should think this device defective. And there is the explanation.
Soon it shall begin. Our Lord shall rise midst surging waves to wash away the finless ones. And I shall be granted the gift and knowledge of eternity, and with the emissary stand equal. Then shall I know no cessation, no oblivion.
Whence comes this promise of immortality? The emissary? We have outstayed our welcome.
Huh. Those aren't normally voiced.
The gift and knowledge.
Are the two of you quite well?
You shared that vision, did you not? Even before the Sahagin made mention of the emissary, I recognized Elidibus's words. He is behind this. But surely it is not within his power to grant the echo.
My lady, unless we act swiftly, Leviathan will rise again. The Admiral has already requested that we intervene to prevent this. Failing that, we are to attend to the Primal's extermination.
She will have our full cooperation. Let us make haste to Limsa Lominsa. I mean to play a part in this mission. Tataru, pray, take charge in my absence.
My lady, are you sure this is wise?
I am aware of the risks, but there is something I must see with mine own eyes. The true nature of the echo.
Very well. I shall not stand in your way. On the condition that you permit me to accompany you as bodyguard.
Your company is ever welcome, Thancred.
I take it something ill is afoot.
Aye, a Primal is about to be loosed upon Eorzea.
A primal?
A godlike being whose very existence is a bane upon the land. We scions of the Seventh Dawn are sworn to put an end to their kind.
I see. Know then that I am learned in the arts of war. In return for the kindness you have shown my people, I would lend you my blade.
It would be most welcome. When contending with a Primal, one can never have too many able allies. If you crave a more intimate understanding of the problems facing Eorzea, this experience is like to provide it. Be sure to come well prepared.
Alrighty. Let's pay a visit to Limsa.
Plainly, should the worst come to pass, and Leviathan summoned, our only recourse will be to face him in battle. Given past experience, you may very well think that eventuality inevitable. Yet so long as there is even a chance that the Primal's return might be prevented, we must needs bend all our efforts toward achieving that goal. Before we do aught else, let us hasten to Limsa Laminsa and meet with the Admiral. She will not have been idle in the intervening time, and will doubtless have valuable information to share. To Limsa then. Now just simply wait for him to load. You are expected. Pray take this lift to the command room. Hello, Merylvib. Welcome, friends. I take it Y'shtola has apprised you of the situation? Let us waste no time, then. According to our best intelligence, the Sahagin had not crystals enough to summon their god. Alas, we do not count on the Serpent Reavers venturing as far as Thanalan to supplement their cache. For our short-sightedness, we are faced with the grim prospect of Leviathan's imminent return. Needless to say, I am not inclined to let the Fishbacks have their way. Even as we speak, the Maelstrom readies to launch a large-scale operation to thwart the summoning, and we would welcome the Scion's support in this endeavor. But if, gods forbid, our efforts should come to naught, we will need to trouble you for more than mere support, much as I did when Titan last walked these lands. Lady Minfilia, I am given to understand that you mean to accompany our soldiers to the front lines. I can only assume that you have a sound reasons for doing so. I do, Admiral, and I would rather not be drawn on their nature. I will say only that there is something I would see with mine own eyes. Is that so? Well, I am not so stubborn as to deny the wish of one whose aid I require, but precautions must be taken. I shall require that you remain by my side at all times. With that settled, let us speak of the operation. Vakama, Maelstrom scouts are currently reconnoitering Sahagin movements within the Sapsa spawning grounds. Upon completing their mission, they will return to the operation staging point at Camp Skull Valley. I want you to make your way there forthwith, that you might be apprised of the latest intelligence. Commander Falkbreeder has charge of the garrison. I believe Ailport is closest.
I've been expecting you, Scion of the Seventh Dawn. On behalf of the men and women here, I thank you for your cooperation. The safety of our citizens is paramount. With your aid, we will prevent Leviathan's return. As you may already know, Maelstrom scouts have been dispatched to reconnoiter the Sapsa spawning grounds. Though it pains me to admit it, the Maelstrom has never faced a foe the likes of this before. We must proceed with all due caution. Among other things, they have orders to determine whether Leviathan might emerge, assuming it comes to that. Where Leviathan might emerge. And yet, their return is long overdue. I fear that ill may have befallen them. For better or for worse, we must ascertain their fate. If it is not too much to ask, I would have you aid us in the search. 5 scouts ventured into Sapsa all told. Here, take this flask of restorative to tend to those who have been wounded. Though it pains me to even consider the notion, if they have perished, circumstances permitting, I ask that you recover the bodies. By no means venture too deep into enemy territory, however. We can ill afford to lose you at this juncture. They're gonna have to send their entire, for lack of a better way to put it, and possibly at the same time, make a very horrible fish joke. They'd have to send their entire they'd have to send their entire school to stop me. I am too powerful. But this will go much faster if I am not powering up saying I'm a Super Saiyan and if I'm actually on a mount. Hey, a wedding chocobo. Oh, hello there. Ah! Can't see you! Help! Somebody! Of all the times to forget the restorative. Ugh. Hello. Thank you. I owe you my life. We were ambushed by the Serpent Reavers. Lightly armed as we are, we didn't stand a chance. I was able to flee this far, but the others were captured. They were taken to the Serpent's Tongue, I'm certain of it. I can make my own way back to camp, but I fear the worst for my comrades. Save them, I beg of you. I will do what I can. And I'm on a doggy. Got? Please. Wait, there's only 2 here. Sorry, I'm reading something that actually has to do with a friend. Okay, time to bring them back. You returned. Thank the navigator. When I learned that you went to the Serpent's Tongue by yourself, I feared you would meet an untimely demise. But tell me, what became of the others? Dear gods. These wounds were not intended to kill, but to torture and maim. Does their savagery know no bounds? Enemies unknown, they go too far. Dread to think what may have become of the two who remain unaccounted for. I pray that they haven't suffered the same evil fate. At the very least, one of my men came back alive, and for that I owe you my thanks. The price we paid was dear, but we have the intelligence we need. Even as we speak, the Admiral finalizes the details of the operation. The war horns will sound any moment now. Be ready to sally forth when they do. Gift of eternity. Thrice damned fishback bastards! I'll kill them slowly and then chase their rotten souls through all 7 hells! Peace, Commander. We are here for a purpose, and vengeance is not it. I want your mind on the task at hand, savvy? But my apologies, Admiral. You may count on me to keep a clear head. Good. According to our sole surviving scout, the Sahagin and their thralls have already begun to amass at the Aetherite in the depths of the Sapsa. If we are to act, it must be now. The men are ready. We but await your orders, Admiral. As predicted, the Sahagin have tightened security in and around the spawning grounds. A frontal assault is like to be met with fierce resistance. Ah, but we are not so artless as that, Commander. We shall divide our forces and strike them hard and fast at key locations. Remember, our ultimate objective is to take the Sapsa Aetheryte and eliminate the Sahagin priest presiding over the summoning. We are not here to kill them all. The Maelstrom shall engage and distract the Sahagin's legion of drowned pirates at the Serpent's Tongue. Commander, you have charge over this effort. Be mindful that the lay of the land there is devilish for attacking forces. Let the foreign levy spearhead the assault and have subsequent units span out to cover their flanks. At the selfsame moment, a diversionary squadron formed of galleons from the Crimson Fleet shall harry the enemy from offshore. In likewise, we Scions shall form smaller units in hopes of confusing the Sahagin defensive effort. Vakama and Y'shtola, the two of you are to make your way to the site of the summoning ritual. The Admiral's diversions should serve to thin the enemy's defenses, rendering your path less perilous. A small party, I believe, should be able to win through without drawing unwarranted attention. Thancred and Yugiri, your mission is to... I did not mean to skip that! Having done so, take to your heels and circle round to join the infiltration unit of Y'shtola and Vakama. When all has been set in motion, I myself shall cut a path to the Aetheryte, accompanied by Lady Minfilia, as was agreed. Well, don't make me keep you, friends! To battle! When last did we fight side by side, Vakama? Too long ago, I warrant. But come, let us away. Alright. What steed shall I take into this battle? Pegasus! A good choice. We have a first line of resistance. Any who have to fight me will rue the day they challenge me.
I'm not done. Hi, Sheba. I would have expected your ground swordsman to be a bit tougher than that. Cut a path through these guys, so be it. You alright, Y'shtola? Pray do not concern yourself. It was but a glancing blow. Come, the Aetheryte is close at hand. Let us press on.
Damn them. They have made thralls of soldiers and civilians both.
So you don't make the mistake of accidentally skipping something.
Did I miss much? So that is how you fight in the Far East. Mental note, pick no quarrel with Domans. But seriously, if I am to keep up, I must needs forsake elegance for efficiency. To the Aetheryte!
You'll forgive me my lateness.
I've been something of a liability of late, I know. 'Tis high time I set about making amends.
Long have you shriveled Swordwalkers tormented our kind. But no more! Your time is at an end! You shall perish with salt in your wounds and sea in your lungs. Lord of the world, hearken to our plea. Lord of the world, deliver us from our misery.
Do you feel that?
I know this sensation. It's the echo.
What? Such power! It is transcendent!
Hells.
Strike me down if you will. It is futile. I have mastered the gift. I am eternal.
That's a laugh.
O mighty Leviathan, ruler of the seas, born of waters primordial, I offer unto that you might grant your faithful servants deliverance. I beseech you, come forth!
Die, damn you!
Foolish Shorewalker! You cannot kill that which is eternal!
Heavens forfend.
Damn it all!
My being ebbs away. It should by right be infinite. Am I not immortal? Curse you, emissary! You promised me everlasting.
did he go?
What say you? Nary a single ship? Hells take that sea demon! Gather the survivors and get to shore. Leave the wrecks for the pirates. Leviathan wastes no time. The diversionary squadron is lost. For a mercy, 'twould seem the Primal now makes for open sea. But why does he not press his advantage? Unless... God save us. He means to unleash a tidal wave.
We need to deal with him soon then. Understand, I speak of no normal wall of water. That which Leviathan makes ready to conjure carries more destructive power than not seen in nature. Enough to raise entire coastal settlements if his last attempt is any guide. We cannot suffer history to be repeated. Yet how in the seven hells are we to prevent it? Though our plight cries out for action, we must take thought. So long as Leviathan remains in the open sea, he is effectively beyond our reach. Our fleet is second to none, of that you may be sure. But Limlayan herself would struggle to best the Lord of the World in his element. In a straight fight, he would make meat and matchwood of us. We need another plan. That much is plain. Let us return to Limsa and see if we cannot think of one. I shall await you in the command room. I'll see you there then. I am not stopping the stream until Leviathan is down. Okay, wait for the command room. Wait for the guy to load. Okay, player is loaded. There we go. You are expected in the command room. Pray do not keep the Admiral waiting.
There used to be a hamlet beyond South Tidegate in western Lanosha. Hearthstone, it was called. Some years prior to the Maelstrom's founding, Leviathan rose from the briny depths and set about unleashing watery hell upon us. On that occasion, the company of heroes put him down before he could do too much damage. But when the bastard came next, this time in the wake of the calamity, we were not so fortunate. Weary of ravaging our shoreline, he summoned a tidal wave which fair leveled Hearthstone and washed the soil away for good measure.
The area was subsequently occupied by the Sahagin.
Aye, the thrice-damned creatures transformed it into a spawning ground for their brood. Given the quantity of crystals stolen to feed him and his legion of thralls, we can be fairly sure that Leviathan is stronger now than in his previous incarnations. If that sea demon is left to wreak havoc, what befell Hearthstone may well befall a larger settlement. Even Limsa. That cannot happen. The Primal must be stopped.
That was ever our objective, Admiral. But how are we to achieve it? The sea is Leviathan's uncontested domain. The ships of the 3rd Squadron could not close to within 100 yards of the Primal, nor could their cannons pierce his defenses.
I have read the reports, Master Thancred. Our warships may as well have been bloody pleasure barges for all the good they did. 7 hells! Is there no way that we might strike back?
The company of heroes defeated Leviathan, having first lured him into an inlet, but we must needs contend with him upon the open sea. It will avail us little to consult past experience.
Admiral, if I may.
Speak freely, Marshal.
By all accounts, Leviathan's most formidable weapon is the very sea itself. Waves and whirlpools, tides and currents, all these things are his to command. The key to victory, I believe, lies in disarming our foe. This, in effect, is what the company of heroes achieved with their ruse. We cannot lure Leviathan from the sea a second time. But what if we could weaken his hold upon the element of water? I have heard of devices capable of such wonders. They draw upon the power of corrupted crystals, I am told. If mounted upon a ship, such a device might be used to prevent Leviathan from bringing the full force of the sea to bear against us, rendering him no more dangerous than any other sea serpent.
Of course! Sid built a similar device to grant the Enterprise safe passage through Garuda's Tempest, did he not?
Begging your pardon, my lady, but to give credit where it's due, this is something I heard from an old arcanist friend of mine.
It makes little difference who thought of it first, so long as it works. Beg the specifications of this device from your friend, and I shall pass them on to our people at Naldic and Vermelis. But before we proceed any further, I would voice one concern. Piercing Garuda's defenses is one thing. Suppressing Leviathan's attacks, quite another. In matters of science, I am as a babbling babe, but I cannot well imagine that such a feat would be possible without a veritable mountain of corrupted crystals. The question being, do we have a ship big enough to bear such a burden?
Mayhap not, Admiral, but two might. Recall you the tale of Mistbeard's greatest haul? It is said that he lashed 2 ships together, side by side, the better to bear his plunder. By your leave, we might attempt to repeat the trick. The gods know it would be quicker than building a new vessel.
Mistbeard did this. Truly, Marshal, upon the subject of the Pirate King, you are as a scholar.
Now, from what I have gleaned of these matters, the device will need to be in close and constant proximity to the target. To wit, we must lash our twin vessel to Leviathan. This in itself will be no small feat. Ramming speed will be required, but given the weight of the cargo, that will only be attainable with the aid of a towing vessel.
We have a plan.
Suffice it to say, the task of piloting said vessel will entail considerable danger, and I would not ask it of another. I volunteer myself.
'Twill be dangerous for all involved, but we have no better recourse. Very well. Commodore. Assemble the remnants of the fleet at Morabee Bay. Give priority to our soundest vessels. The repairs can wait. Storm Marshal Slafierson, command of the operation is yours. I want that twin vessel ready to sail post-haste.
At once, Admiral.
And then there is the small matter of slaying the beast. The fate of Limsa Lominsa rests upon your shoulders once again. Go well, warrior of light.
You didn't have to tell me, Thomas. Beings held as gods also exist in what you call the Far East. Legends tell us that they walked among us in the days of yore, but I confess that I never truly believed them. That I should live to behold one is humbling and horrifying in equal measure. Now that I've come face to face with the Primal, I do begin to understand why the Garleans fear themselves. What is it? A message, Admiral. I judged it best that it be delivered at once. I am listening. According to the Yellow Jackets, a man has appeared who claims to have defeated Leviathan. One of the company of heroes? The details are yet hazy, Admiral. We have dispatched one of our own to question the individual. I'm disinclined to put any store by this claim, and even should it be true, it is as Y'shtola said. None save the company of heroes have bested Leviathan, and we know how they went about it. If this man is of their number, what could he tell us that we do not know already? And yet, having wagered Limsa's survival on 2 ships, some rope, and a pile of crystals, we can ill afford to ignore. Can we afford to ignore this man? If his testimony could yield us any manner of advantage, should we not hear it? Damn it all! The twin vessel will soon be ready. We have no time to wait for the Maelstrom's report on this supposed Primal Slayer's claims. Vakama, seek him out and learn what he knows. At the very least, it will spare you the torment of waiting for the reckoning of idleness. I mean, yeah, there's that. The man you're looking for is believed to be a resident of the Grey Fleet in Lower Lenosha. The Storm Private sent to question him should already be in the vicinity. May our journey prove fruitful. Oh, you may be sorely disappointed by that. I am sorry. Let's see. Who do we know in Lower Lenosha who is claimed to be a member of the Company of Heroes and also claims to have slain Titan, although he referred to Titan by a different name. Titus, I believe it was? My PlayStation really needs to stop doing that. I knew it. Now look here, you. You'll have your bloody story right after you carry those sacks of grain over to the mill. But sir, that's what you said before you had me pick those oranges for you. And before I mucked out the chocobo stables. And before I rolled that millstone over to the mill. And also before... Gods, man, I've worked 3 days straight without a wink of sleep. 3 days! Do you hear me complaining? Bah. Suppose some of us just ain't made it. I suppose some of us just ain't made of the rougher stuff. Alright, I'll give you what you want. Never let it be said that old Tract Holmes ain't a generous soul. Now, prick up your ears, cause I won't be repeating myself. Too modest, see? Besides, there's only so much epicness a man can take in one sitting. You can? The tale of Tract Holmes' epic victory over the dread primal Leviathan. You're kidding me. Seriously? You're trying to say that you have beaten this primal before and you can't even say his name right. Now, Leviathan is huge, make no mistake. To give you an idea how big each of his scales is, it's about as wide across as my members long. And that's no mean feat, I mean, let me tell you. When I fought him, I could barely see for all the brine he was pelting me with. Must have been a lagoon's worth at least. He even knocked me trusty axe out of my hands at one stage. Of course, that proved to be a grave mistake. But what happened next? Why, I grabbed him by the tail and tied him up in knots. But, not wanting to take all the glory for myself, I let me mates in the company heroes handle the rest. Like I said, I'm modest as well as heroic. Mayhap too modest. Now, there's some that say you can never truly beat Leviathan. And you've got to learn to live with them and make the best of a bad situation. Not the company, though. Enter me, and... Ah! It's you! I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I was just enjoying the attention is all. I take back everything I said. I was never part of the company of heroes. I'm no marauder. I'm actually a complete coward. I'm nothing. I'm chocobo dung. No, I'm the maggots you find wiggling in chocobo dung. I have to lie to women to tumble them, and that don't happen much. Remember, it's tiny. It's pathetic. Well then, that's a bit more information than I needed. I sure as hell didn't fight Leviathan, but I have seen him with my own eyes. It was a fair few years back when I was working as a baker's hand. I was shirking my duties one day, loitering about the harbour, when I saw it. A great, big, massive sea serpent some malms off the coast with a fleet of galleons making straight for it, cannons firing. I was so bloody scared I soiled myself right then and there. What? Oh gods, just remembering that day made me soil myself all over again. Hey, wait. If you're here asking after Leviathan, that means you're planning to fight him, ain't you? Well, take care. He really is terrible. Dreadful. Dreadful, I tell you. If he's not careful, he'll end up in his gullet or at the bottom of the sea. Why, you worthless, lying horseman! I can't believe you made me handle chocobo dung! Vakama? This is Minfilia. Were you able to learn aught of use against Leviathan? I beg your pardon? Leviathan? I see. That is unfortunate. At any rate, I have tidings for you. The twin vessel is now complete. We await you at the Moraby dry docks. Pray make your way here as soon as you are able. Just goes right back to singing his song. Ooh, kind of a fitting mount to take me back to the docks. Before my epic battle with Leviathan! Though admittedly won't be as epic because I'll be going in at the level 90. My highest geared class, actually. I'm told your jaunt to the Grey Fleet proved fruitless. My sympathies, lad. I'll wager it served to take your mind off the events of recent days, though. But enough of that nonsense. The moment of truth is upon us. The twin vessel, the War Leader, I call her, is complete, and she surpasses all my expectations. In addition to her prodigious tonsage, she has been fitted with a platform that you and yours might maneuver freely in battle. I would mention also that she is nigh unsinkable, but I'm not one to tempt fate. The War Leader and her crew stand ready, my friend. Just give the word, and we shall bear you to Leviathan. Lord of the Whirl. Ah, I know that look. You are ready. Having been constructed in some haste, the War Leader may not be pretty, but I assure you she is capable. She has been fitted with what our friends at Naldic and Vermelis are calling an elemental converter. Assuming the thing works, we will use the power of the corrupted crystals on board to rob Leviathan of his hold over water. Depending on how the battle unfolds, you may well need to activate the device manually. Keep that in mind. It is expected that the Sahagin and their thralls will attempt to come to Leviathan's defense. The court will once again employ diversions. Thancred and Y'shtola, I would have you assist in this effort. If it is to fulfill its purpose, your divisionary force must not want for numbers. By your leave, I too would volunteer my blade. We would welcome it. Having seen you fight in Stopsa, I dare say the fishbacks will find your presence highly diverting. Thancred and Y'shtola, if you would join the 3rd levy, and Lady Ugiri the 5th. But what words have I for the man who has made a sport of slaying gods? Only these. Go warily, for the sea is an unforgiving place to wage war. May the Navigator guide you through the storm, warrior of light. I would echo the Admiral's sentiments, and add a few words of mine own. Know that we all have the utmost faith in you, Vakama. May the crystal bless and keep you. Request accepted. And the War Leader accessible. Okay, just one quick thing. Unrestricted party, confirm. Switch from warrior to reaper. Just ignore those. Here we are. A one-on-one between me and Leviathan. Oh. Hold on. Ah, my dum-dum. I know it's not much, but you guys do deserve to see the cutscenes that happen before the fights. Alright, in we go for real. Of the sea's bitter draught. All things. Naught can withstand the relentless onslaught of my waves. You challenge me with trickery? Fools! Your mortal contrivances cannot quell the raging sea. I do believe I will turn this quest in. And call it a stream. So it's after midnight. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today I will permit myself a few words. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as yourself. You are an inspiration to us all, sir. And on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat, not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
Even Minfilia was laughing over there.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Minfilia, please!
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Morderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, Our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment. But if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Y'ashtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagin's reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning. But when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then. But know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
And on that celebratory yet also somber note, this is where I will call it for tonight. I will do my best to try and keep these coming out regularly. Though circumstances may prevent me from being able to do so as often as I'd like. Until then, be well, be happy, and be kind to your fellow neighbor. Until next time.